event page.
Have we had fun in Cub Scouts?
Oh yeah.
Basement Studios on East McMurray Road. Strap yourselves in for another stirring edition of At PT.
It's another eventful week at Peters Township, and you've come to the right place to find out all about it. Hello, I'm Kyle Blackman.
And I'm Emily Brandstetter. Don't be fooled where Kyle and I are sitting. This is not your parents' headlines or even the morning announcements. You're watching At PT. The name Michael Frayn invokes images of, well, actually, I've never heard of him or his 1980s British farce Noises Off until the PTHS Thespian Troupe decided to tackle the story of the backstage antics in the creation of a musical production. Noises Off, the PTHS Thespian Troupe's latest production, can be seen in its entirety on this very station on Saturday at 1:30 p.m. and 11:30 p.m. and Sunday at 1 p.m.
Expanding freedom, building democracy, and ending tyranny. Pretty heady stuff. Lucky for us, there are people intelligent enough not only to understand it, but to tell others as well. Recently, at the Peters Township Public Library, Dr. Schuler-Forrester wrapped up this year's World Affairs Council of Pittsburgh series, which highlighted such diverse topics as weapons of mass destruction and the impact of media on world events. Make it a point to interrupt your Fox News channel or CNN viewing to check out the latest installment on Channel 7, but only for a limited time. When most people think of Cub Scouts, they think of building fires, tying knots, and helping little old ladies across the street. But the modern-day Scout must meet the technological advances of today's society. One of the latest areas of exploration for these local Cub Scouts is a chance to experience the inner workings of a television station. Recently, the Peters Township Community Television hosted PAC 1393 in a hands-on tour of this fantastic facility.
Things we've done?
We did a Pinewood Derby.
Pinewood Derby. How'd you do in that?
Well, I did good. I got a medal.
A medal?
If the name Nettrekker makes you think of pointy-eared Vulcans and crisscrossing the galaxy while exploring new worlds without violating the Prime Directive, then it's very important for you to sit down and watch the latest edition of Let's Compute, starring Peters Township's very own Tony Sikowski.
Latest edition of Let's Compute, we address internet safety. And we do that by using the new Nettrekker DI search engine that has been provided for us by the Pennsylvania Department of Education. PDE purchased the search engine from nettrekker.com for all 501 school districts. This will allow teachers, students, and parents to safely search the internet at 180,000 approved sites that have been screened by educators rather than using search engines at large.
Information on the internet until you've watched the current edition of Let's Compute, airing Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 4 o'clock and 9 o'clock on Channel 7 and 19.
As children, we were always taught never to talk to strangers, and definitely never take candy from them. But with technological advances over the last decade, people now come in contact with strangers on a daily basis. Oftentimes they don't even know it. Students at Peters Township High School, along with those from around the world, make daily entries on personal web pages, blogs, and other online community sites. How much personal information is really out there? The results may surprise you.
A 16-year-old boy was arrested when a 7-year-old posted pictures of himself with guns on MySpace. Almost a million
MySpace reports it has over 58 million members.
3 or 4 hours a week.
I go on maybe 3 times a week. 4 or 5 times.
I spend about 20 hours a week.
Our concern as a school district for students and their safety extends beyond the school.
They should be extremely cautious about putting any information about themselves whatsoever on the internet.
Boys and girls think that only their friends are accessing those pages, when in reality, any person anywhere in the world can access that information.
In California, a small high school think blogging doesn't equal big business. In July 2004, Rupert Murdoch's News Corp purchased MySpace for $580 million.
People's
blogs.
Oh, my friends all have it, and I've got in touch with people that I haven't seen in a while.
See what they look like.
And I really like it because I can connect with people who I haven't seen since almost 3rd grade. And you can really have friends anywhere from all over the United States.
In California today, a middle school student expelled for posting a status on classified on MySpace. 20 others suspended.
Washington County, Pennsylvania. A 39-year-old.
I find that students are posting their instant message screen names on there.
As far as kids go, there's a lot of pedophiles out there that are just looking to make contact with kids and take advantage of them, let alone people looking to steal your identity and make a living off your identity.
Birth dates, where they live, places that they go to, cell phone numbers, and other personal information.
I would put my name and
I feel safe sharing my first name.
The internet would have to be my name and age.
I think it's good if you're on there with a band because MySpace gets your name out there.
A man in Battle Creek was arrested after setting up a meeting with what he thought was a 14-year-old girl. It was actually an undercover officer.
Mentioning what school you go to could lead a pedophile or some other person to your
Be careful about putting where you work, who your friends are, first and last name.
Or a name or a sport you're interested
and dates and times where you'll be found, for instance, going to the mall.
Anything that helps someone narrow down who you are is a danger.
Would give an adult who maybe wanted to pursue a child more information than perhaps they should have.
Put it on the web. The government doesn't look at any information in an email or anything else as being personal or personal.
Students don't often realize that what they're typing in their personal web logs or blogs, as we call them,
goes out. It goes through so many different servers that quickly that they feel it's public information.
Community, the world at large, rather than just their friends whom they're sharing their identities with.
If you're smart about it, then there's no way that anything bad can happen.
Some kids that's like mature enough should be able to handle it well.
But it can be dangerous.
Cops and other people have had so much stress with chat rooms and stuff, and I just think this basically just, I don't know, kind of celebrates it.
I think MySpace is ruining people's lives.
My sister did her term paper on a girl who was abducted from her MySpace.
If people are just, safe about what they tell other people, then it's really no big deal.
I think people are kind of overreacting about it because, I haven't heard anything bad happening.
If you're smart with it and you use your common sense, you'll be okay.
They think there's no risk because there's no association of space. In other words, you could be talking to anybody, any place in the world. So whether that person is willing to travel that distance to meet you or take advantage of you.
And avoid chat rooms if at all possible, and only chat with people that you know face to face. There are often times that online predators pose as 16-year-olds, 18-year-olds, when in reality they're in their 40s, and they post pictures of teenagers that they have found elsewhere on the net posing as young people.
The youth of our community, regardless of age, has to be extremely careful about the kind of information they put out there. They shouldn't be putting anything out there that narrows down an individual's ability to search for them.
It's okay to do blogs. Adults are doing that. We're using it for news, and it's a great way to get information.
MySpace problem in Connecticut, there's a guy from this area that's been arrested for having sex with a 14-year-old in Connecticut. So he's utilized
it. Could be that those people were learning things about us and enticing us to engage in conversation, revealing information about ourselves, or maybe perhaps enticing us to meet them somewhere that we wouldn't otherwise do.
Parents need to be aware that they shouldn't be putting computers in kids' bedrooms. Those computers should be in a common area of the house where people can see what's going on that computer and supervise.
We need to work on understanding that computer is going beyond our four walls, going beyond our community of Peters Township, into the state, into other states, and the world at large.
That's all we have for the news section of At PT. Now we turn it over to Miss Steph Lacey at the Sports Information Center. Take it away, Steph.
Thanks, guys. It's kind of quiet here at the PT Sports Information Center as winter sports seasons have all wrapped up and spring sports have yet to commence. However, we do have some WPIAL news and notes to report. First up, the PTHS boys and girls diving team participated in Whippeals at Pine Richland High School. In only his second year of diving, Steve Graves placed 6th, just missing qualifying for states by 4 points. Other divers that placed at Whippeals included Megan Trainer, who placed 17th, Sarah Early, 20th, and Steph Smore, who placed 22nd. The boys and girls swim team took part in the Whippeal Championship competition at Trees Hall on the University of Pittsburgh campus last weekend. Those that qualified for the PIAA state competition included Dan Smith, who placed first in both boys' 100-yard backstroke and 200-yard IM. In the girls' 100 butterfly, Kate Rich placed first with a time of 58.4 seconds, and finishing third was the boys' 400-yard freestyle relay with a time of 3:16.34. All events that qualify during Whippeals move on to states that will be held at Bucknell University. Congratulations to Keith Fedden, Ryan Hellman, and Sam Bierman for participating in the Southwest Regionals for Wrestling held at Norwin High School on March 2nd through March 4th. On Thursday, March 9th, the Peters Township Hockey Club upset the second-seeded West Allegheny in the PIHL Penguins Cup Class AA quarterfinal game at the Airport Ice Center by a score of 5-3. Jerry Raymond scored a hat trick, leading the Indians to their win. Next up for the hockey team, they'll play Pine Richland at the Ice Castle in Castle Shannon on March 14th at 8:30 p.m. It's just 12 days until the start of the spring season, and that's all we've got for now. Take it away, Tina.
Thanks, Steph. The top movies this week are number 1, Medea's Family Reunion, and number 2, 16 Blocks, number 3, 8 Below, number 4, Ultraviolet, and at number 5, Aquamarine. Let's take a look at what's coming out this weekend in theaters. For the real little kids, it seems as though Hollywood hasn't run out of movies about talking animals. Disney's releasing an updated version of the classic Shaggy Dog movie starring Tim Allen, Kristen Davis, Danny Glover, Craig Kilborn, and Robert Downey Jr. Tim Allen starts out as a dad, becomes a dog, and goes back to being a dad again. Can you say career dip? Also, unless you've been completely away from your TV for the last 5 months, you've most likely seen 1, 2, or 12 promos for the new Matthew McConaughey and Sarah Jessica Parker movie, Failure to Launch, with yes, Terry Bradshaw as his father. Well, the movie is finally hitting theaters this weekend. Also, Scaremaster Wes Craven unleashes The Hills Have Eyes. A family road trip gone bad, encountering a, quote, bloodthirsty mutant family. I may have to wait for the DVD release on that one. Speaking of DVDs, a few movies coming out on DVD next Tuesday include Good Night and Good Luck, directed by George Clooney, although I think it's a little too late to help it win an Oscar. A History of Violence also hits shelves next Tuesday, plus TV fanatics can be overjoyed by the release of Columbo Season 4 and get out the bubblegum toothpicks and a couple locks of hair because it's time to learn a never-ending series of tricks from MacGyver, as Season 5 is finally available for you to watch over and over and over again. Well, that's all we have for At PT. So until next time, you've been watching At PT. Keep watching us because we'll be watching you.